What's up, Ninja Nation? Oh, let me scoot it over. Welcome back to episode 12. This is a deep ass chair. Golly. This is chapter 3. We last left off on page 50. $54. All right. Chapter 3, page 54. Woo. Okay. No, sir. The water elemental. Beatmaster, Broforce, Broflow, Flowrice, Gindard, Dripply. The captain's face drained of all color. Crap, I hate that guy. His flow is so fire, he melts my chocolate M&Ms. He be straight out of the gate with the rhythmic tunes and flow. It's like I feel like an asthmatic doing mathematics, and I suck at math. Oh, man. If he challenges us, we are going to be shrimp in a boiling pot, dead in the water. Who's BroDripply? Whatever else you said. The captain shook his head. Only the sickest rapper and beatboxer in all of ManBeardia. He is also a water elemental. He is the only one that can go toe-to-toe with our god, Apollo, in a battle of musical art and win. One time! He beat me one time! And everybody remembers it for life. I hope we do run into that poor excuse of a water stain, so I get my rematch. Suddenly, the ship's war bells rang. The beard shouted, "Battle stations!" as the boat began to sway to and fro by a large underwater creature. The king closed his eyes. Maybe sooner than later, Apollo. Incoming! The beard yelled. Flaps on the ship swung open and cannon tips jutted out. Chick, chick. The king slowly walked to the nose of the ship, where a single metal gold chair was built into the deck. Captain, you take the wheel. You take the wheel back. Sir. The captain ran down the map's room steps and up to the wheel. A bulge appeared in the blanket of the sea's abyss. Hold! The king shouted as he made eye contact with Satan. Son, you might want to go below deck or find a seat and hold on tight. Sir? What are we about to face? Satan asked concerningly. The king flapped his kingly robe and sat down. A water elemental that likes music and takes the form of an ancient water dragon. He's a bit of a stuck-up ass. You two would get along great. The uncomfortable half smile. You're too kind. What's their survival rate? Without skipping a beat, the king said, 100%. I got something for his punk ass. Ready? Giant spikes broke the blanket of water. Spin the ship! Battle positions! Battle positions! The crew told the gunman. Roger! The captain spun the wheel, then quickly grabbed the wheel. The massive ship cut and whipped through the sea. Satan lost his balance and got smacked by a wave. He fell and grabbed a railing. Aim! A head appeared above the water, a mouth full of daggers, and a weird half-emerged growl emitted as it swam faster. Fire! The steampunk-styled automatic cannon blasted, and the smell of war rose up from below. Shock-a-boom powder filled the air. The cannons exploded below, creating electric depth charges from the Bohemian blast balls like mini rockets. The water elemental creatively spiraled full body out of the water, tactically avoiding every Bohemian blast ball and its explosion. It flew into the clouds and opened its mouth to charge its ice breath weapon. Apollo groaned. Oh no. This is much worse. He is in a playful kill mood. The sky began to glow different hues of blue to a dark purple, to a dark blue, to a purple, back to a baby blue. We didn't come to fight you, Flowmaster. A deep laughter erupted from the clouds like thunder. The dragon head popped out of the milky, multicolored clouds. So that was just a hello? We seek safe passage through. A titan laugh shook the skies. Clear sailing? Royce, you have a strange way of asking permission. So firing at me is your way of asking nicely, Viking? The dragon growled. The dragon's head disappeared. Oh, great Broforce dragon! We know of your reputation. We thought you were preparing an attack. Another chuckle as it started to heavy rain. It slithered across the sky like a water moccasin. Page 55. Oh, you know me, do you? And that warrants an attack, does it? A blast of blue energy slammed through the clouds and sliced through the air and hit the boat, freezing the mast and the island flag. Then that was me, just saying hi. The dragon growled. And knowing you, filthy Vikings, your love for your warboats, which are made of land material, infecting my sea, and you bring a putrid evil into my borders. We seek peace, masterfully driptastic sir. The dragon stuck its head out of the clouds. The dragon hissed, showing its double-edged sword teeth. Peace? The dragon growled. You dare speak to me about peace when your kind only knows war? I can't tell you the last time we had the pleasure of swimming in clean waters, the last time my fish and plants have tasted fresh water without it being blood-ridden, the last time we could live in non-land wood-flavored waves, or bathe our young without the smell of gunpowder in the air. The dragon swam to the other side of the sky. You Viking tribes kill each other for land expansion of your Viking kingdoms at the cost of my people's health and the health of my sea. You speak peace as if you come from a position of power, but I promise you, in this territory, you wield nothing. The dragon had much anger and pain in his voice. The king placed his war staff beside him. Be that as it may, I am still a king, which allows me to grant special gifts. Could I offer you a tribute or a sacrifice as a payment? Would you accept a virgin girl or gold perhaps? What I desire you cannot give me, Viking king. Keep your pathetic worldly things. The dragon said, saddened. Apollo spoke up. What if I gave you fresh waters? Had the tribes build more sea-friendly boats, so you two species can coexist? The son of Zeus is with you? The dragon bellowed. It is I, Apollo. The dragon halted its breath weapon. The sky stopped pulsating blues and purples. The water dragon then dive-bombed into the sea and created waves that violently rocked the boat. And after a few moments, the waters chilled out. I've never seen him this pained before. Yes, bro dragon, I am here. Psh, you may be a god, but you're merely a babysitter. Our God made us and left us. He only cares about his earthen realm and his Milky Way sector creation. The water dragon whined. Suddenly, Satan felt the great eyes of the colossal-sized water elemental dragon's gaze fall upon him. You reek of his energy. Why are you here? To tease and torment us of what we once had? Satan felt the anger and sadness pulsating from the water dragon, fully directed at him. And it made his chest heavy and his mind intoxicated. Apollo held his breath and sighed, hoping Satan wouldn't say something stupid that would throw this already emotionally unstable version of a very powerful water elemental over the edge into a kill frenzy. The king felt the same way because they both were quiet. But look at each other. The king felt the same way because they both were quiet, but they looked at each other. Tension was thicker than the evening fog. Hi. Wow. That is some intense abandonment vibes. I thought I had daddy issues. Ooh, doggy. A hand was placed over Lucifer's mouth. Yes, he is from Earth. Yes, he is a child of your previous god. But he's one of the more dumber creations. He doesn't have manners, and I apologize. I'm here, and I see you hurting. The Vikings prospering, but before I can get to work on that promise of cleaner waters, I'm working on getting this full off-air planet. I understand, and my heart goes out to you, Beatmaster. He paused and gave a mean glare to Satan. I am aware that his presence only increases your pain and suffering. Please allow safe passage to the next island, and when I drop off this dumbass to the next island, I will come back to you. Page 56. And then we can talk about what you need and what you want. Finally, the great dragon calmed down. The dragon now focused on Apollo. He nodded. It slowly seeped back into the waters. When the coast seemed clear, he let go of Satan's mouth. You need to learn a little coup de grace. What does that mean? Manners, dude. Manners. It's not my fault Yahweh ditched this swashbuckler place y'all call home. Frankly, I would have ditched this place too. A roar of pain, and the dragon reappeared. You mock my pain? Damn you to the pits of fire, Satan. The waves have ears, you stupid prick. Why can't you be nice for once in your thankless life? Prepare for combat, men! The king proclaimed angrily. BroDripply, take Satan of Earth Realm. He is the one that spoke against you. Spare us! The king pleaded. The dragon moaned in pain, and it spiraled into the air and spun around into the sky. You asked for mercy, but you will have none! A rainbow beam blasted out of the clouds and decimated the flag and its masses. Is he not on your ship? Then you are responsible for his tongue. The king sighed. So be it. The king sat upon the steampunk chair at the front of the ship. The king drew his war halberd and slammed the head of it into the hole next to the chair. He pushed the handle forward. The sounds of gears turned and metal components shifted. The chair raised. Armor began to climb all over the chair, extending here, locking into place there. Within a few moments, this ordinary chair became a double-barrel, 750 millimeter military aircraft, anti-air, automatic, what's up with it now, steampunk-style cannon. Answer me one question before I kill you. Why is he on your ship, Viking King, if he does not speak for you, or better yet, to be allowed to speak freely? I was allowing him passage to the next island. I was attempting to be nice. The dragon's head stuck out of the clouds and showed its many rows of teeth. Nice! You are a weak king to exercise kindness to the wicked. He has damned your whole crew. Your bodies will make good pillows at the end of the deep tonight. Ready yourselves, men! Royce Gracie shouted, then gripped the trigger tighter. Yes, peasants, accept your fate like good obedient ants that you are. The waves started to rock as the dragon charged his main weapon. Beardian bro! Beard was in the middle of giving a command and stopped mid-sentence. Sir. Oh. Beard smiled. Oh, all right. Fusion time. Light blared down from the clouds as the beard jumped onto his face. Broforce! Thunder clapped, and the light cleared as the Broforce flowed through them to finish the transformation. A large smooch from his gorgeous wife. Okay, let's dance. A targeting system was dropped over the king's eyes. Royce Gracie smiled. Apollo, close your mouth. You're going to catch a fly. Yeah, go ahead and ask. You want to know Apollo shook himself from amazement. How'd you get that bad boy? He slugged the loading lever back. Surprisingly enough, a game of poker. The mechanic was rather cocky, said he'd offer to install it too if he lost, but if I lost, I had to give him my daughter's hand in marriage. Apollo started laughing. Did you tell him you're a master 7-time regional champion poker player? The king laughed, and then clicked off the safety. No. Where'd be the fun in all that? Besides, I really wanted this gun. He smiled, page 57. He smiled, then the dragon cried in pain. The king's attention was switched to the dragon. The dragon dive-bombed out of the clouds. Open fire! Boom gada, boom gada, boom gada, boom gada, boom gada. The 750 barrel rocked the chair as it felt like it was riding a wily horse. Shells landed rapidly on the metal platform. Apollo closed his eyes and shook his head. Ha ha ha! Royce, you dirty dog for that. You're a dirty dog for that. You're a savage. The gun automatically cranked its position to the dragon's movement. The king shouted to Apollo, Never used it to handle an elemental, though. Hopefully it'll hold. The boat began to get choppy from the dive bombs, rocking violently back and forth, but still maintaining its balance. Handle! The dragon cocked its head. The dragon cocked its tidal wave of a head. He growled and shouted, Handle this! The water elemental fired his breath weapon into the clouds, and it launched out of the water back into the clouds. Frigid ice spears, thicker and stronger than steel, began to fall from the sky. The Broforce protected the boat from any major damage, and a large storm arose. The clouds became very angry, with loud claps of thunder. The rain began to freeze, and the sky lit up as the dragon continuously blasted its breath weapon across the sky. The icicles began to get more frequent and fall a lot harder. The cannon drew from the Broforce. It moved in a confused pattern, as it could not tell what was the large hailstorm of death and what was the water elemental dragon. Just as the cannon fired its last projectile, before it had to reload, the sky opened up. The water dragon, realizing there was a shield up over the ship, decided to dive bomb the ship. Just as it closed its wings around its body and dropped from the clouds, the dragon turned its body to water, and the missile and cannon fire easily passed through, then exploded behind the dragon. And the debris fell through the dragon back onto the Vikings below. Brace yourselves! He's going to dive bomb the ship! Brackadadoo, brackadadoo, brackadadoo. But all their efforts were mute as every attack phased through. As the beast got closer, It charged and held its ice beam. Its chest began to glow different shades of purple. Within 100 feet, it blasted a focused blast straight down. The Broforce shield shattered. The hailstorm shredded the boat. Just before impact, the dragon made its body whole, and he blasted through the boat like a ballistic intercontinental air-to-ground missile. A storm of splinters exploded up, and Vikings went in the air. Apollo started to air guitar to drift back down to the water, but mid-fall the dragon tail-whipped Apollo so hard. His music notes had dizziness. The air pads under his feet broke, and he was guided very quickly to say hi to the waters. Hard embrace by a very strong beast tail. The entire Viking ship was obliterated. The dragon whipped and flopped, trying to kill as many Vikings as possible. It chomped. The sheer carnage it was going to take the Vikings a whole month for the Broforce to bring back this tribe. "Get out of my waters, you filthy stain! You don't taste good and you smell weird!" The water elemental dragon godsmacked Satan so hard he sailed through the air, standing alone, wondering, believing that this place of ManBeardia wasn't plagued by the poison he seeped. He was curious if his fire will burn out before he could breathe. Oh, see what I'm doing there. See if you know what I'm doing here. I'll reread that. The water elemental dragon godsmacked Satan so hard he sailed through the air, standing alone, wondering, believing that this place of ManBeardia wasn't plagued by the poison he seeped. He was curious if his fire would burn out before he could breathe. This Viking paradise, Satan truly felt the sting of unimportance and a high caliber of peasantry. To add insult to injury, the dragon breath weaponed Satan out of sight. As the Vikings and Beards and their weapons tried to fight as well as regain their posture in the water, Apollo even fought. Let's see, where are we at? Really? All that action, only 20 minutes? Whew. Oh, I'm tongue tired. It's got me a little winded. My goodness. Reading aloud is definitely a skill. Page 58. Meanwhile, on the great shores of Brolian, Eagle, Bromerican, Biker Brotato chips, fireworks exploded in a very Bromerican style. Brocky Bro Boa ran up some steps and saved his dog, got married, and beat a Russian while listening to some catchy tunes. I love that guy. How about you, reader? Brother Bro Sly, Sylvester, Bohemian, Stallone. It's pretty amazing. Mentor and teach, huh? He doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know it, but that's my adopted Hollywood dad. Love that guy. Anyway, over on the shores of Bromerica, it was a cold day in hell when Lucifer was ejected out of the stars. and bounced on the beach twice before skidding to a stop. Exploding bluish white sand across the grass, making white doves and red pigeons scatter. Completely frozen. Zero control over his body movement, but fully awake. Ow! There wasn't a snowball's chance in hell that Satan was going to thaw out anytime soon. He felt like he felt the warm tropical sun beat on him as he sat there frozen in time. A hell-flavored devil food cake popsicle. He was just chilling there. As the warmth of the strange bluish white sand fell on his feet, he started to think to himself, as his body slowly went numb. No, he started to think to himself. He started to think to himself as this place had a habit of having him deep reflect. He began to think cool thoughts and vibes as his body slowly went numb. I don't think I've been defeated this many times in my entire life. This sucks. I hate being helpless, but what can I do? Anything less than just go through the motions. It was at that moment he came to the cold, chilling truth. He was next to powerless here on ManBeardia. A seal in a world of polar bears and Coca-Colas. Scary thought, that one. He began to feel a arctic cloud of sleep take over him. Or was that hypothermia and shock? Either one Satan welcomed, not moving for a few moments. All this non-stop fighting was really scarring his personality. Yes, sleep. As of right now, that notion sounded strange, but a notion welcomed. Even stranger, he began to dream. A voice stirred him. So you deceive me, break my mind, steal my body. All for what? All to what? Lose your grand plan, get your ass thoroughly whooped by your brothers, and banned to another plane of existence by my student. Where all your evilness, angel powers, and black magic barely are keeping us alive. Doesn't seem like the actions and efforts are meeting the expectations of the rewards. Beginning to think you're not as great as the tales, lores, and legends have proclaimed. Annoyed, Lucifer opened his eyes and looked up. What? He laid his eyes on Emperor Raydon Lee. Didn't I kill you? In a sense, yes. But mainly you just broke my mind. I am a 15th degree Grandmaster Sensei, Warlord Sensei. Grandmaster Sensei, Warlord, Samurai, Ninja Martial Artist, Ancient Spirit. I am not all just fancy moves, flashy kicks, and punches. Lucifer sat up and rubbed the sand out of his eyes. How did you manage to bring your consciousness back to one piece? Most people just die or are a bambling, drooling mess. It was not easy. It was not an easy feat. No thanks to you. It took many months sneaking around you, carefully not to alert you. I healed using earth energy and meditation. You are not very talented at using my body for all it's good for, Lucifer growled. I know quite well what I'm doing. Raydon Lee snickered. Yeah? Then you are extremely sloppy tactician and strategist. If I may, from what I've seen, you got beat senseless by a god, eaten by a dragon, practically pissed everyone you need to help you off this planet to the point where they want to kill you now and ask questions later. I don't need this, especially not from Ghost You. I can break your consciousness again if you want. Raydon Lee raised his hands in surrender. I mean no offense, Ancient One. Simply stating there are more efficient ways to go about this than brute force, a vulgar tongue, and an ill temper. What do you propose, Ninja Master? That we work together. Page 59, end chapter 3. No funny business. Or at least let me show you how to use my body. And in all of its capabilities. A demonic snuff. I'm fine alone. Raydon Lee chuckled heartily. Oh yes, you were doing a swell job by yourself. Currently you are dreaming. You, me, we are frozen solid under the beach sand, unconscious on an island of the nastiest fight style America has learned. And on this island, 2 of the most deadly practitioners of said style. Raydon Lee took a sip of the half coconut he held. Tell me this, Ancient One. If you're good on your own, how do you expect to regain consciousness by yourself and break the ice when your hands are frozen to your side? Black magic? Wait, this is a dream? This relaxing hot tub isn't real? Impressive, Master Ninja. And how do you propose to summon your hell magic? Oh, God bless me. If you can't even conceive this is a healing dream. Raydon Lee walked over to the towel rack and grabbed him a towel and handed it to him. Derp. Wait. If I'm unconscious, then I simply wake up. Several hours later, he sat up. Sand drained off him, and he spat a mouthful of sand out. See, I don't need your help. This dude is talking to himself. Why are you coming up in my shoreline, messing up my sand, scaring my pigeons? You trying to die or something? Lucifer looked up, and he saw a village of people with 2 men standing in front. The one dude was a huge beast of massive muscles. You speak, we're dead, let me. Before Lucifer could object, Raydon Lee pushed past him and came to the surface. He slowly rose to his feet, and he brushed the sand off his clothes. No, sir, I came here to complete the challenge for the crown of Apollo. I apologize for any damages to your island. My name is Raydon Lee. I am King Mike Tyson of the left side of the island. This is my little brother, Muhammad Ali, king of the right side of the island. We are the kings of Bro-American boxing. Our townsfolk call us 2-ton brick, and lightning bee. Sometimes I'm called Rhino. Alright guys, that is the end of chapter 3. Next time on ManBeardia, Vikings before time.